this is Jane at GreenBiz. We're going to be talking about rain showers today. Well, we're in a little bit drier area here to do some talking to you today. Today we're going to talk about watering your lawns and your shrubbery, your trees that have been newly planted or maybe that have already been in existence for a while. We at GreenBiz are very concerned about you being able to keep your lawns and your greenery green. So we're going to talk about watering. Many of you have a sprinkler system. Sprinkler systems around here are excellent. However, you need to use your sprinkler system correctly. First of all, if you plant, or if we have planted for you, any shrubs, remember that the root system on a shrub on a tree is much deeper than the root system on your grass. And so when you have a sprinkler system, often that sprinkler system is set for the grass roots, which are this big. And they're not going to be able to really penetrate down where you need them for those newly planted trees and shrubs. Just kind of keep that in mind. So, sprinkler systems. Do use a sprinkler system that sprays low to the ground. If you have a sprinkler system that's shooting water all over the place, most of that water is evaporating and it's not doing a whole lot of good. You don't want to overwater and you don't want to underwater. If you overwater, you can have problems with funguses and stuff like that on your grass. You don't want that. If you underwater, well, we all know what happens when you underwater. Things turn brown. They die from not enough moisture. So you have to be very careful to walk that center line between too much and too little water. So how much is too much or too little water? An inch of water per week is what they usually recommend, what we usually recommend. So how do you know if you have the right amount of water? A rain gauge. A rain gauge that measures an inch, or you can use, for instance, a soup can marked to an inch. That way you will know how much water you are putting on a particular area. We've often been asked about when is the best time to do watering. The best time to do watering is during the daylight, from early morning until, well, just before it's going to start to get dark at night. The reason for that is twofold. Number one, you want the water that is on the foliage, so for instance on the leaves, to dry before nightfall. If your leaves are going through nightfall, through the night, with being wet, they are more prone to get diseases. The other reason why you want to water earlier in the day is that, well, think of yourself going through the day with nothing to drink. You're thirsty. Your plants get thirsty too, and so by watering early in the day, they're going through the heat of the day with well-watered, well-hydrated a root system, and they're just going to be perkier all day long. Some of you may have a sprinkler system that has very high pressure. It's just throwing out a lot of pressure with that water. Be very careful using that high pressure system that it is not constantly hitting a particular tree or shrub in your yard, because that can do damage to that plant, that constant pounding on it from that water. Just kind of be aware of that. So we've already talked a little bit about how much water you should have, an inch per week, when to water. I want to talk about the rainstorms that we get. Here in the southeast, we often get afternoon thunderstorms. And you'll see the clouds forming in the sky. You'll hear that thunder. You'll hear it rumbling as it's coming in. You'll maybe even see the lightning. It builds up and builds up and builds up for a period of maybe several minutes. And then you get 20 drops of rain. That 20 drops of rain does not count as your watering for the day. It's just not enough. You really need a good soaking rain for probably an hour, maybe two, or those all day just light showers that come down. That counts as a good soaking rain. That 20 drops you get from a big thunderstorm, well, you know, it talks big, but it does very little as far as making your grass green. If you're tired of hand watering, we here at GreenBiz specialize in irrigation systems. You can give us a call. We can come out and give you an estimate and install one for you. This is Jane with GreenBiz. Happy watering to you.